What's up, good people? This Isaiah. And as we look at the tape, we're talking about Daisy here, Daisy Another Style, and mainly doing damage with her, right? I've come up with a few ideas. I'm not going to showcase them all because mainly those ideas just involve moving characters around or just using a different character. All right. But I'm talking about Daisy here and how I don't even know if it's a consistent hitting the damage cap by turn 3 or what. But we're talking about it here. As you can see, I don't even have her at max level yet, which again, to anybody that's watched my video on light and shadow points, right? I mentioned in that video how you don't really need to have any character really at level 100. You know what I mean? I guess the only real perk to it would be that you can easily find your Stellar Awakened characters. You know what I mean? Because obviously if they're just one level over 80, then just popping here inside of the organized party, you'll easily find them. You know what I mean? Because they're all going to be the characters that are above level 80. You know, so there's that. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get out here and do some damage testing. There's something going on with my web browser here. Because one of the things that I don't do is I don't watch, say, other videos on particular characters or like consult the wiki, right? The Anothereden wiki, to say better organize the character. I don't know why I don't do that. I might want to start for things like that. At least when it comes to creating team comps and things like that, I prefer to like see if we can actually use what's available to us in game. You know what I mean? And fortunately, there's a lot available to us. So, for example, take Mariel. I was thinking about fist and hammer users, right, for blunt based attacks. Mainly for Daisy here. And I'm like, yeah, I can go to the wiki and get that information, but I can also just come in here and select fist and hammer, and then I'm good to go. You know what I mean? With the characters here. Right? But then, of course, the one thing I would be better off doing on a computer, like in the wiki, is actually viewing the skills. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's in other words, these damage-based videos, regardless of who, well, I mean, unless somebody has like help, right? They're probably on probably the subreddit or somebody mentioned Discord once. I don't remember who exactly it was, but it was mentioned some time ago. What's going on here? I'm not sure. Looks like I'm having some browser problems. But anyway, so we're getting into testing Daisy. Now, the team comp I have for her is a pretty interesting one, really. It's Daisy in the front line. Then we have Yifa, AS, Mariel, ES, Yuella, Rika, and Ilulu. Okay? Now, starting from right to left, Ilulu's only here to hold Grasta. If I were to open this up, we have the Almighty Power Purgatory here. All right, so that's not much to add here. Same thing for Rika. She's holding the Enhance if max HP Earth. There's probably, is there Enhance max HP Hammer? And well, I can actually increase her damage. Let me give her that. Did I say Enhance if max HP Hammer? Oh, yeah, there is. Yeah, I wasn't even using all those. Look at that. It's ridiculous. And I don't have Rika maxed out. Okay. For anybody wondering, let's see. I'm not even close to having enough. All right. So, following that up, we have Yuella here. And notice how we have her last. I mentioned this in my Yuella video, how by having her in that 4th spot in battle, she's going to Kaleido and Flexible to Daisy. All right, or whoever's in that first slot. All right, so that's why she's there. She's really just going to be used for setting pain, okay? And of course, the Grasta here are pretty traditional, right? Enhance and max HP Lance, Power of Pain, right? Nothing to really benefit her because I'm not really aiming to use her for dealing the damage, you know what I mean? And I'll just showcase the skills, right? These are the skills I'm using here. Here we have Muriel ES. These are the things she got. I literally just threw them on her, okay? And then we have her skills here. And then her Grasta here, we have Power of Agony, Power of Pain, Power of Pain. I don't know how long she's had these, to be honest with you. Because I literally forgot about it. You know, I know I added the weapons, but I didn't really add the Grasta. So that's cool. Yifa here, everybody knows what Yifa and other styles is used for. And that's just to buff, you know, whoever you want to buff. Really, in my case, it's going to be Daisy. So naturally, all her Grasta is really just meant to get her spirit up. You know what I mean? And then we have Daisy. Okay. We slow her down for a reason, right? We kind of want the other characters to act first and even the boss to act before Daisy here. Similar to her normal style. All right. These are the skills we have here. I'm primarily going to be using Harvest Dance, Bountiful Blessing, and then the Verdict skill. Okay. And then for Grasta, she has the typical pain, poison, Power of Pain setup, really. Power of Pain, Bullseye, Power of Pain, MP Consumption, Power of Pain, Earth Power of Pain. I don't remember who we got this from. I really don't. That's one of those cases where you might actually have to consult the wiki. All right. And then another Power of Pain, Adversity. All right. So there's that. Now, to showcase damage, because I kill the bags, so I can't use the bags for dealing damage. So everybody's favorite punching bag right now is going to be Vares here, or Vares. All right. So we're going to go ahead and just jump into the fight. I should have showed, well, it's Kumos, in case anybody's wondering. All right, so we start this off. We're going to give Faith to Daisy. We're going to go ahead and use this. I'm not really worried about losing this, by the way. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm definitely not worried about it. I can use it now, but I'm not too focused on it. I don't know why I have Hell's Manifesto. Is there anything else here that inflicts break now that I think about it? Because that might actually be the thing to do. Okay, we'll take a different approach this time. All right, for Muriel here, we're going to actually have her use her physical or party type resistance ability. And that's just in case he attacks. All right, and then there's a skill there for Yuela, right? Doing pain and poison, which, by the way, as I mentioned earlier, how her Kaleido Inflexible is Blunt Earth, because Daisy fits those categories there. You alright?
Alakazam! Blessings upon you.
Alright, so not a lot of damage there. Obviously, that's to be expected. Okay, especially for our first hit. You know what I mean? That's only what? 10 million? Not a lot there, which is fine. We're gonna go ahead and buff, and we're gonna switch to this here. And then I don't need to use it. Oh, this also inflicts break, so I didn't need to use that skill for Daisy. Wow.
Testify, Alakazam!
So already, right? Like, it's interesting, like how that attack actually felt like there was power behind it. You know what I mean? And we're gonna go ahead and do this here. We don't really need to do much else. Now I will AF. Really, I forget how many turns I have left actually. Yeah, I wish I was paying attention. But I guess we'll get there when we get there. Right, and when I AF, I'm gonna just use the third skill for everybody, right? So, okay, yeah, there's plenty of time left. So, third skill, Bountiful Blessing, right? Yifa's buff, this ability here, and then Reflexio, all right? So as we can see, this is all I'm using here. Now we're gonna go ahead and use the Stellar Awakening. All right, and I'm gonna use both here. All right. Thought I should probably only use Uella, but I'm gonna use both. So that was the damage cap. That's the damage cap being hit. You know what I mean? So, hold on a second. I should also be able to hit the damage cap outside of another force. We'll just have to wait and see. One turn left, that's fine. Okay, that was a bit of a stutter there. Not sure what happened there. We're gonna go ahead and do what we were doing before. Stick with the buffing here.
Alakazam!
And that's, I want to say, hitting the damage cap. You know what I mean? So now, mind you, I could have did that a lot faster. And what I mean by faster, I simply mean I could have AF'd earlier to get to that point. You know what I mean? Like I could have did it after the second turn, or I could have did it on the second turn because Faith would have already been applied to Daisy. And then after that, it's just a matter of, say, playing piano with skills, you know? So it could be done much earlier, all right? And this is just one team comp. This one is the one I found to be more consistent than, say, if I were to place any of these other units. Like, if I were to replace, say, Mariel with someone like, who would be another blunt? Hammer? I could just easily, I'm thinking Tuva. Tuva ES. Let's see, where is she? Tuva ES, who can buff the party. The problem is, though, when I do that, is I found that the, if you gave, what were those little skeletons that float with them? I'm after using Paladin Queen. These here. Alright. They would also do an additional attack. And like, well, that kind of like throws off the numbers a little bit. And I want to keep the numbers a bit more consistent. And so far, like I said, Mariel seems to be, Mariel ES that is, seems to be the one to actually use here. If we were to take that one there, Tuva. Oop, that's not what I meant to do. Alright, let me go here. And same deal, but this time we'll just go with the Harvest Dance instead. Faith will use Abysmal Powers or Abyssal Powers. And of course set Pain.
Blessings upon you.
So as you can see, we all acted before the boss had that hit like last time. And then of course, if I were to just continue down this rabbit hole here, if I were to use Paladin Queen, and that's just to keep them at full HP, by the way. Alright. That's another thing worth doing here. So I can easily skip this skill. There is a buff granted to those who link effect, but now ally attacks shade type additional attack. Yes, let me just skip that and go with this here, which is interesting because now they're both setting break, as you can see. So we'll see here. Now the question here is, why did Tuva act after? You know what I mean? And now if we were to attempt to do exactly what I did earlier and just AF right here, right?
Does it hurt? My.
We're definitely not going to fill. Scratch that. I was going to say we weren't going to fill the Stellar bar here.
This will be all.
So we hit the damage cap there with Tuva. Or with Daisy here. Could probably hit the damage cap with Uella. Like I said, I would have to actually build around her, though. So instead of using her skills to adapt to other characters, All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do this, and we'll use that.
Testify. How's this?
So as you can see, it's not as consistent, right? Like Mariel ES did a better job in that last fight. Granted, sure, we hit the damage cap twice, right? During AF and then on that first hit outside of AF, but still, you know what I mean? It's a bit more consistent. And I think the reason why is because it's based on blunt attacks. And what I mean by that is, let me see here. Which one was it? I'm pretty sure there was a skill that was based on the amount of blunt attacks done during the actual deal here. But anyway, Mariel, she's hitting what, like 5 to 7 times, I believe. I'll have to, again, this is one of those cases where, you know, it helps to check the wiki. So let's see. I'm talking about Mariel here. Mariel was an ES. Let's see. Not bad. I mean, still does damage. All right. Now, what's interesting is the one character I would actually want to use her with. Okay, it's 5 times. All right. Cool. Yeah, that's 5 blunt hits. So I guess that adds up. But the one character I would actually want to use Daisy with is actually her normal style version of herself, which is unfortunately that's not possible. You know, because I'm like, oh well, she would probably benefit from her own kit. You know what I mean? I'm sure the final skill in her kit is Bountiful Blessing. You know, but still, you're like, man, it'd be nice if I can actually use her with her own deal here. All right. But anyway, that's pretty much how that works out. Like I said, if I was building around Daisy right now, the one that's consistent for me is Mariel here. I don't know what the battle tips, what is it? Becky's battle tips. I haven't looked. I wouldn't even know where to find them, actually. I don't know if this was Daisy talked about in a video by Scott during the live stream. I don't think so. I'm trying to think. I really don't think so. But anyway, that's really my overall testing with Daisy here. Like I said, most of the time when it comes to testing characters, it does involve figuring out, okay, how do we best use this character? Who can actually offer support to this character? And one of the things here that is completely, I would say, useless in my opinion, if I'm being honest, is this link ability. Okay, when Roaring's Bash stance is deployed, additional effects based on number of frontline axe allies, 3 or more, which in other words means they have to be purgatory based. Well, it could be any axe ally really, but typically you would probably go with purgatory based characters. You know what I mean? Because most of them are. What is Dunera? Dunera is a staff user, so maybe not. Most of them are in fact axe users. You know what I mean? And then of course the question then becomes is that really worth it? You know, is that particular link ability worth it? Do you want to make every axe character a blunt user? You know what I mean? Because there's other ways to go about doing that. You know, you can use, say, a Uella here who has the ability to be adapted to pretty much any team comp. You could use someone like a Claude ES, for example, who does the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Could be used in pretty much any team comp. Okay, so you have other units who can accomplish that. The question here is just okay, well, which unit do you want to use? You know what I mean? I didn't bother with testing, what's the word I'm looking for? With Claude, really. I'm sure it'd be beneficial, right? I could probably replace Uella with Claude, but again, like I said, I still need that pain poison setter. All right. Who else has both Kaleido and Flexible? Nona AS is another one that has Kaleido and Flexible. Kaleido based units, there's a lot of them actually. Now that I think about it. And things of that nature. You know, like one thing worth noting is let's say who is it? Dewey Another Style, not Dewey Alter. Dewey Another Style, right? I believe he has Kaleido as well. Though I'm not entirely sure how his Kaleido even works, considering oh, never mind, he's right here. He definitely has Kaleido. Change user's attack type to target's weak point. Okay, well then never mind. That's really for the weak point, you know. That's interesting. If only there was a unit that like could set a zone based on like the element that someone's weak against. You know what I mean? Just throwing it out there, right? But anyway, that's pretty much my whole deal with testing Dewey, geez, Daisy. All right. Are there other team comps I could have used when testing her? Absolutely. You know, this was just the one that I found to be the most consistent. Now, obviously, most likely in boss fights, you're probably not going to use her. All right. And the reason why I say that is because of the kit, right? You got to build around her kit. You know what I mean? And she has to be like one of the slowest characters in the fight, you know, so you'll be taking some kind of risk with that. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it for this one, though. Not much to really talk about, but as you can see with that team come I showed earlier, we're hitting the damage cap with this one here. All right. It takes what, a few turns in an AF, and then we're at the damage cap. All right. So that's pretty much it for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. And if you guys have any ideas on say further things we can do to say build around Daisy, just leave a comment and I'll be willing to test it. All right. So talk to you all later.